Hello, everyone out there. You're watching WeMergeTV, sponsored by WeMerge Magazine. My name is Renda Ryder, and we are here today with Anna Free. Say hello, Anna.
Hi there. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here. So here we are. This is South Beach. We're in South Beach. We're at the Raleigh Hotel. We're on the eve of your album release party, your U.S.-based South Beach album release party. It's your EP, which is right here. So tell everyone out there watching, how does it feel? It's like the day before the birth of your baby. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I'm a little nervous, which I think is pretty normal, but we arrived last night, and so far, so good. I'm really excited about the gig tomorrow. I think it's going to be really important for the fans as well, especially over here in the U.S. and Miami in particular, obviously, tomorrow, but I think it's going to be really important for them to be able to, see what they've been watching, for, I don't know, however long they've been a fan of my music in person and on the stage, and I'm going to have a blast. I think, it's going to be perfect. I'm really excited.
I bet. I'm sure this is going to be a big event for you. So what are your plans for tomorrow leading up to the show? Like, take us to tomorrow, fast forward the few hours before you get on stage. What do you do to prepare?
Well, I'm going to try and focus on the songs I'm going to have to sing, and then we've got sound check, which is routine to make sure that everybody's going to have a good hearing experience, and then we're just going to go for it and sing our hearts out. Sounds
like a plan. All right, and you're promoting, this is the EP here called Radiant. Now, I'll read a quote from you when asked in an earlier interview the meaning of the word radiant and why you chose that. And this is what you said. I find it extremely interesting. This is the best album title, I think, for a modern EP. But when asked, what does radiant mean, you said it is an exact unit that has an infinite mathematical expression. Basically, it makes an otherwise irrational concept rational, and I find that music shares a similar property. So explain that. How does music share that same property of making something irrational rational? How does it do that for you?
Well, I find that life is so full of, immeasurable feelings and complicated thoughts and experiences, and that music makes them feel more logical and helps me to rationalize my thoughts and feelings a lot more. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I've always been inspired to write music, and I've always used music as an escape to somewhere more peaceful and just somewhere which will give me a little more clarity on the things I'm going through. So that's why I decided to call it Radiant, and I think it's a fitting name.
I think it's very fitting, and I think since it's such a different word, people are going to want to look it up or going to want to know more, and it just sparks that curiosity a little more. So they'll be curious about your songs and the whole package and the whole concept. So it's kind of like therapy for you, is what you're saying. It helps you make sense out of life. And that's when you're writing your own music. Now, when you're doing covers, which you're pretty known for, how do you choose a song or an artist? Because you've done people like Nickelback, you've done Green Day, you've done John Mayer. So how do you choose a song?
I tend to feel that even though a lot of people feel like the songs are not in the same genre and the same vein, I find that they're basically songs that I like, and that can vary from, genre soul. I like a lot of hip-hop. I like doing a lot of medleys. I find medleys really interesting. But I think that it's your pop mainstream and some of the old, more classic rock, like Eric Clapton and Bob Dylan even. It doesn't really matter. I don't really have too much. I don't really make too much of an issue over what to cover. I just have to like it, and I just have to feel like I can interpret the song in my own way comfortably. And I get a lot of requests for covers from the fans, and I have this little list which has like all the requests on it, and some of them work, some of them don't. Some fans just, they think up songs for me to sing and cover, and I think it's really sweet of them.
So what's one of the more outrageous suggestions you've gotten for a song to cover?
Well, some people want me to cover ABBA, which
I noticed ABBA was on the charts with you when I was checking out your media kits. So they're sharing the charts with you. What particular ABBA song, or just anything?
They wanted me to cover things like, Fernando, and songs which I just cannot see myself singing. But I write them down anyway, even if not just to remember that, hey, someone wanted me to cover ABBA. But then some people, some of the fans want me to cover like darker metal stuff or darker, like Stone Sour. Do you know Stone Sour? They're like a just a more like, you know, or just a rock band that's more like gritty, you know. And I really like some of their songs, but it's just so funny the way that people conceive my voice and perceive what I sing, and they think, oh my gosh, she might sound good singing that, she might sound cool singing this. And I like it that they request. I really do.
So you've described yourself as being a bit of a John Mayer mixed with a Nelly Furtado. Explain that a little bit.
Well, I have a love for the guitar, which, you know, a lot of people do, and there's a lot of artists aside from John Mayer that play very good guitar. But I really like John Mayer's pop rock vibe, so I feel like that I really connect with that. And then I guess the Nelly Furtado side of things would be just trying to keep the music fresh and different and a little bit indie, but still keeping it kind of in the same vein that I feel like I like to write in. So
I think you're doing a good job of that. I mean, just from the little bit I've seen of you on the internet, you've got the indie vibe, you've got the pop rock vibe, and you seem like you can change with the times too, like Nelly Furtado has. She's always reinvented herself every few years. So where do you see yourself a year from now? If there's going to be any reinvention or growth, evolution, if you could predict like a year from today, where will you be? What will you be doing in your career?
Well, as an artist, it's inevitable. As a person, it's inevitable that you grow. And as I grow as a person, I'm also going to grow as an artist, depending on, you know, my experiences and circumstances. And I think that is something that is completely normal and common across the board. But so it depends really how I'm growing in a year from now. It's hard to say. I know I'd like to still be, you know, doing music full time and putting as much music out there to the fans as I can, because they're my #1 priority. And I just want to be traveling and touring and making records.
That's cool. And listening to you, it seems like your needs are rather simple. You're just kind of going after your passion. You know what you want, and you're doing it. And you mentioned the fans a lot, both on and off camera. So you're very much a fans artist. And that's what I think is interesting about you, too. You're like a modern... You're an example of the way it's done in the modern world musically. There's no longer the age of getting signed to a record label and shopping a demo and trying to get approval from someone. You're your own label, and you're very connected with the fans, and you've utilized your YouTube presence and all that, and it's connected people to who you really are. Which brings me to my question of the outtakes. You seem to be known for your outtakes, which in this new business model of the way the world works now with promoting music, you could just be yourself. So there's no label filtering out your personality. It's right there on your YouTube videos. And you think people are as much of a fan as you as they are your music through that?
I think, well, I mean, the outtakes are something that often divide people. Some people like them and some people prefer the videos without them. But you know, from my perspective, I'm glad that I have, you know, retained the ability to show who I really am, and to show the goofy side of the videos and the personality side that people don't necessarily envision when they watch, you know, my songs. I think that part of it is my team, the people who back me up, my managers. They're fantastic, and I think that my whole crew has just allowed me to be myself, and that I think is one of the reasons why this is all working. And so I think the outtakes are just a testament to, you know, who I am and who I am really off, you know, the musical YouTube camera during the song, which I find, you know, when I sing the song, it's really intense, and I get so focused, and so I think the outtakes are nice to kind of balance it out. Hey, this is Anna Free, and I'm on WeMergeTV. Check out WeMergeTalent.com.